Hello, this is Acy Shannon, and this is my me in metal story. I grew up in Park Forest, Illinois, which is a south suburb of Chicago. I was the only child, and unfortunately my parents got divorced when I was 12 years old. That meant that I moved around a lot, going to different schools, which made things very challenging in terms of having long-term friendships. But then fortunately, my parents remarried, which brought back that stability for me. And they've been happily married for more than 30 years now. My dad actually worked for Ford Motor Company for 42 years. And at the time we had a tour, we were able to tour his facility. And I think I was maybe 10 years old at the time. And I'm seeing steel and metal all over the place, but it didn't mean anything. It was just a bunch of stuff in a huge warehouse. And I think at the time they may have had 1,000 employees that worked there. But for me, it didn't resonate until maybe 25 years later as I started working for Central Steel. I worked for Jewel, Osco food stores. At that time, retail was extremely tough, and I worked as their deli manager. And hours were 12-hour days, 14, 16-hour days, and there were some times where I kind of stayed or at least worked around the clock. So after 2 years at working for Jules, a friend of mine actually worked at Central Steel and Wire. He said, "Hey, this is a great company. I think you'll like it here." And so, I jumped on board. Was hired January of 2000. So I started out 22 years ago on the inside sales desk, actually manning the phones, taking inbound calls, making outgoing calls to customers and prospects. And I was an inside sales rep for 5 years. And I was approached at that time by inside sales manager about an outside territory role. I had an opportunity to move into a director or sales manager, where I managed the state of Michigan, Indiana, and portions of Ohio. And then I progressed into another role after 3 years of being a director of sales into a national director of global accounts. And then now I'm more in a regional role as a territory sales manager. I've been married for 18 years to my wife, Catrice, and we've been blessed with 3 wonderful kids. The oldest is Aiden, the middle son is Acy Shannon IV, and the darling daughter of mine is Kendall Shannon, who is 5. Again, 22 years at Central Steel, and throughout the years I've had probably 5 or 6 different roles. The jobs were open to me based on my performance. It had nothing to do with gender, race. It was whether or not AC could do the job. And that's one thing that I value throughout the years at Central, is that they have always been a fair, open company. Everything was solely based on my performance. What I enjoy about my role is being able to make that engagement or contact with the customer, getting to understand what they do, what industries they support. I want to understand more why they're so passionate about the world that they live in and the magic that they make happen within their shop floor and the pride that the customers take in the work that they produce out of their shops. And for me to partner and to share that enthusiasm is something that I enjoy about the job.